went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the building of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See you not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, and love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
To do according to all that is written there.
That's an important part. It's not just meditate and learn the scripture so that you can just meditate and learn. The scriptures say to meditate day and night that you may what?
Observe to do according to all that is written therein.
That you may observe to do. Observe to do all that is written therein. The problem is we don't want to do anything. We want success, right? We want to come up. We want to get out of our situations. We want to be on top, but you don't want to work for it. We want to sit. We want to listen as the pastor speaks, right? And feel good. And TD Jakes starts shaking his neck, etc., etc. Right. And you feel good about it, but when it comes to the Bible, you don't feel good about it because you won't pick it up and do what it says.
That's right.
Read
If it ain't in there, it ain't right.
Read it again.
Say it in.
To the top.
If it ain't in there, it's
This
not
book
right.
of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy ways prosperous.
Observe to do all that is written therein, and then you should make your way prosperous. Then you can have all the abundance and so forth. Because as the pastor said, we can do all things in Christ and be poor. But now the scripture said, if you do what the scriptures say, then you can have great success. Then you'll make your way prosperous.
That's right.
That's what it's about. It's about being prosperous. So if he gave us a commandment, he gave us law, he gave us heritage, he gave us things to help us get above and not be at the bottom, so that we're not the ones having to pay rent and mortgage, etc., but you're the one that's actually lending and not the borrower, as the scriptures say. It says, then you'll have good success. Read.
And then thou shalt have good success.
And then you will have good success. So you must sit, study, apply, do, and then you might have good success. So on the other end of that, if you don't do that, guess what? You don't get success.
No success.
You're going to be in the same situation.
That's right.
Still out here looking for a husband when your husband probably already here, but you too blind to see it because you won't obey what the Most High said.
That's right.
Because a real man is like, I don't want that. I want a sister of the Most High.
That's right.
Modest, a chaste, keeper at home sister. All right? Let's go to Proverbs 37:4. Proverbs 37:4, and let's get some more on this because again, we're talking about being successful, but we ain't talking about putting in the work for success. We're talking about being successful, but we ain't talking about being prudent. To be successful. To be prudent means that you actually sit, study, watch, observe, and then you do, as we just read. That's what a prudent man does. So if I'm a prudent man, a prudent husband, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna watch, I'm gonna study my wife, and I'm gonna understand the things that make her happy. I'm gonna understand the things that make us click in the sense of where we don't argue in the household. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna study, I'm gonna understand my children, so I know how to guide them according to the scriptures. I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna understand my brothers, so I know how to operate with my brothers, so that we don't get into no BS among each other. If I'm trying to be successful as a doctor, you can't just show up and start doing surgery. You got to sit, you got to study.
Right.
You got to understand how to use the instruments and the tools that they give you for the job at hand. Likewise in this life. Go ahead. Psalm 37. All right? Psalm 37:4. we're going to get into the scriptures. We're going to dig, and we're going to dig, and we're going to probe, and we're going to figure out what it takes to be successful until we get there. Because again, you can't be successful at anything that you do in life without putting in the works, one foot in front of another.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 4. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thy heart.
Delight thyself, right? So to delight yourself means that you always remember, and you have a good feeling about what you're doing, right? So I delight it's something I look forward to doing, right? I look forward to getting to the scriptures and seeing what the Most High has set before us, so that I can be ahead of the game, so that I can get success. That's what it's about. Read it from the top.
Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Commit thy works, commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
One more time, both of those.
Verse 4, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Delight thyself in the Lord, enjoy that thing, enjoy the presence, and he shall give you the desires of your mind, of your heart.
That's
the
right.
things that you think about constantly. But you got to understand what the source is to be able to get it. You got to understand what the source is. If you don't know what the source is, how can you get the fruits thereof? Right? So if you like a particular type of, if we talk about fruit, you like a particular type of fruit, you don't go to a pecan tree to go get an apple. That don't work.
Right.
You got to know the source to get what you need. So the Most High said, I am the source. Your pastor ain't the source. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend ain't the source. Thanksgiving definitely ain't the source.
That's right.
Christmas ain't the source. The fake New Year's is not the source. The source is the Most High God. He said, delight yourself in me, and I will give you what you want. The things that you desire the most. Go ahead.
Verse 5, commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
Right, so commit your way. Meaning, okay, I got a decision to make. I'm with my boy. We finna go out. We finna go do this, go do that. All right? We already know. I'm committed to it. So when I get out here, we're gonna do everything it takes to get old girl. We're gonna get drunk, and we're gonna get high, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go there. You got your mind committed to wickedness and the things that you seek after you go get. So the Most High is like that same energy. That same energy you put toward clubbing.
Right.
The same energy you put toward women and drugs and alcohol, whatever else that is your vice in this life. The Most High said, take that same energy and put it toward me, and I'm going to help you be successful in the things that are pleasing to me.
That's right.
And I'm going to help you be successful with the things that you want if it's righteous. Read that last part again. Verse 5.
Verse 5, commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him,
And trust in him. Commit your way to him. Okay, I'm committed. But how do you build trust? You can't just be in a relationship with somebody and say you committed, but y'all don't ever build the trust. That means you got to be with this person. That means y'all got to go through things. That means you got to be proven. So, okay, you say you love me, right? Okay, but then prove it. Situations happen, then that's how you can tell if somebody really love you, so to speak. Or if they're really down with you, so to speak, right? But you can't just say I'm committed, but then you over here, and you over there, and you over here.
Right.
Commit your way to the Most High, and then trust in the Most High. So, but hold that. Matter of fact, yeah, hold that, get some rock too. Can I hold it for you?
I'll put it in.
Already. All right, get some rock too. And give me that part where it says Sirach 2, I think it might be 5 when he changed to a lower state. All right? It said trust in him, trust in him, trust in him. If I trust in him, it don't matter what the situation is. I know and believe that whatever the situation is, the Most High gonna bring me out of it. If I commit my way to the Most High, like Psalm says, and then I trust in him. It's two different things. All right? The first part of it, we sometimes, I don't even say that we do that. We don't even commit. You know how I know we don't commit? Because we go here, we go to this pastor, this church, that church, and you never pick up the Bible to see what the Most High God actually got to tell you.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Go read that again. So the scripture said, when you come first, matter of fact, get verse 1. We can't skip verse 1. Get verse 1.
Verse 1, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
The scripture say, my son or my daughter, if you come to serve the Lord.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Everybody think when they go to church and so forth, and the pastor talking to them, that when you show up, you're supposed to, already, that you go to the church and you're supposed to all of a sudden get this feel-good spirit on you, and then it's all over.
Right.
Or get dipped in the water, and then it's all over.
Right.
The scriptures say when you come to serve the Lord for real, prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare your soul for temptation. Why? Because there's going to be situations, tribulations. There's going to be trials. There's going to be all type of stuff to come out and challenge to see if you're really about that life. But most of our people not. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Set your mind aright. It's going to be continuous throughout the Bible. Any successful person that I know, when you look at the statistics, any successful person has a routine.
Right.
They have a routine and they follow this routine. They have a schedule. The schedule is full, right? And they do this every single day. They get up, read the newspaper, get their coffee, go do what they do, whatever. The Most High has a routine. Study, 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 apply, 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 receive, receive, receive.
Right.
All throughout the Bible. So he said, when you come to serve me, prepare yourself for temptation. But set your mind right. Get your mind right. Get ready for the battle. Go ahead.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And when situations come about you, now you're armed enough to not have to make haste in time of trouble.
Right.
You don't have to run because, you know, you got hit a little bit. Now you want to run away. No, go get your super soaker back.
Yeah.
Go get your big wheel back.
Right.
Go get it back. Read.
Cleave unto him and depart not away.
So again, cleave, that's just like we read earlier. Delight in the Lord. Cleave unto him.
Right.
Cling to the Most High. Why? Because that's going to be your way out. The foolishness that we in, this is not the way out. Read.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That you may be increased if you do these things. So if you're prudent, right? If you sit, study, apply, then you'll be increased in your last end. It ain't necessarily just about right. You can get success right now and have everything you need. Hit rock bottom and forget all about the Most High, and then you lose out on the end. Or you can have everything you need right now. Hit rock bottom, understand that the Most High is the one who did it. Take the lessons that he gave you, and then climb right back up because you cleave to him. And then he'll have you to be successful and allow the end. Read.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Whatever comes on you, take it cheerfully.
And be patient when thou art changed to a lower state.
No matter what happened to you, the scriptures say to be patient when you're changed to a lower state. Most of our people are not patient when they change to a lower state.
Right.
That's when they go do drastic things.
Right.
That's when they go do things that are not convenient when it comes to the eyes of the Most High.
Right.
So, yeah, a situation might have happened to you and nobody taught you back then how to react.
Right.
So now you might live a certain lifestyle. All right, so this ain't me speaking, but according to the Bible, homosexuality is not of God, right?
Right.
So there might be a young sister, and I ain't the one to speak because that ain't my lane, but you might have got raped and then you feel a certain way toward men and now you go to that lifestyle. But if somebody would have taught you, be patient when you change to a lower state, right, and cleave unto the Most High, because at that particular time, there's something to be learned out of that situation.
Right.
Something to be learned, and something for you to be able to gain from that, and maybe go help somebody else who could have been in that situation, or if they were in a situation, you can help them out of it.
Right.
But you're not patient when you change to a low state, so now you run to a lifestyle that's not convenient of you, or not convenient for the Most High. Read.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right, so to be acceptable to the Most High, you got to go through that fire. You got to be tried through and through. All right, so let's go back to Proverbs. Got to be tried through and through in order to prove yourself worthy to say that you're a son of the Most High, daughter of the Most High, a follower of the Most High. In order to do that, you have to go through the fire, right? Read. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. Rest in the Lord, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him, who prospereth in his way.
Boom. It said, listen, man, the scriptures are going to repeat itself over and over again. It's redundant for a reason because he wants us to get it. He wants us to understand. Delight in me, I'm going to make you successful. Turn away from me, I'm going to judge you. So either you get the light, or you're going to get the darkness.
Right.
Either you're going to get the blessings or you're going to get the curses. However, whatever words you want to put on it is going to go one or two ways. So according to the scriptures, we're supposed to keep his commandments. We're supposed to delight in the Lord, and then we're going to be successful. Let's go to Jeremiah 17:7. All right? If you keep the commandments, according to what we read, according to what I see, according to what I know you'll be successful. But the minute you turn from the Most High, guess what? You're going to get judged. One way or another. One way or another. Jeremiah 17:7, and let's get more proof that by keeping the commandments and studying that we can have some understanding on how the Most High deals with us. Because right now the lifestyle that we live is not conducive to the Most High. We say we believe in the Most High and we go to church and so forth, but when say it again?
You gotta turn to believe.
Turn to what though?
Turn to believe. To what
Turn to
you
what?
believe in.
Turn to what? Read what you got.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord,
So blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord. So again, you gotta admit to the Most High that, hey, I sinned, etc., right? Like you said, 1 Kings 8. And you commit your ways to him, and again, here it is, trust. Trust him. Because whatever it is that you see in front of you, the temporal things that you see in front of you, those things they're gonna waste away. But it's the promise of what's down the line that we're working for. That's what we're working for. So he said, trust him. Read it again.
Verse 7, blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord,
Read.
and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters.
See, our brothers don't even really realize how heavy that is. Because we don't even consider trees no more.
Right.
Because everything convenient at Walmart, the Dollar General, Dollar Tree, everything you need, you just go there to get it. But during that time, if you needed something, right, you better be living by water, because that's the main resource.
Right.
So a tree that's planted by the water, guess what? It's going to have an abundance of resources. So the Most High is like, I'm going to make you like a tree that has an abundance of resources. You're going to be able to give life. But we don't believe that, because how do we know? By the lifestyle that you live. If the Most High said this is how you're supposed to live, and you live opposite of it,
right,
you're living in death according to what the scriptures say. The life that he wants you to live is plain and simple to see. But because you reject his word, you reject his laws, statutes, and commandments, and you reject the black Messiah,
right,
you don't have that abundance. Read that part again.
Verse 8, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when the heat cometh.
Right, and you shouldn't even see when the heat coming. Read.
But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Right, she's going to be abundant. Again, we read in Joshua 1 and 8. When you sit, you study, you understand, and you apply what the Most High tell you to do, that you're going to have great success. But when you don't, you're going to have distress. You're going to have destruction. So according to the scripture here in Jeremiah, he said, I'm going to make you like a tree that's planted by the water. So while everybody else is struggling,
right,
you're going to have abundance. And not only are you going to have abundance for yourself, but you're going to have abundance for everybody else that's in need. Any of our forefathers that understood that, operated that way, and made sure that everybody else was good. Always. You go back as far as you can go back. Any of our forefathers that understood that the Most High was going to work with them if they kept the commandments, not only did he bless them, but he blessed the nation as well.
Right.
So likewise in the latter times, if you do what you're supposed to do according to the scriptures, he said he's going to make us like that tree by the water, and we're going to have plenty of abundance for everybody. Read.
Verse 9, the heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Right. But our minds, though, the problem is our minds are deceitful. Read that part again.
Verse 9, the heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways.
Man, so that's what he's going to reward you based off. So he said, look, I want you to be abundant. I want you to have. I want you to bless. I want you to lift up. I want you to do all those things. But the only way you're going to be able to do it is if you do it according to my word. Because your mind is telling you want to do something that the Bible telling you not to do.
Right.
So he said, who can know it? He said he know it. He tries you. How does he try you? By putting situations in front of you. By dangling those cherries in front of you, right? All those things that are in front of you that you feel like you're going to get by the Most High on, guess what? He got something else for you. He said, I'm going to try you. Because you can say that you love the Most High.
Right.
You say you follow Christ or you know Christ. Okay, but you worshiping the false image of Christ in your church every Sunday.
Right.
So they got the fruits of your labor. That's why you're not going to have the abundance that he promised to you. So Thanksgiving come around, guess what you do? You go, matter of fact, hold that. Give me Psalm 55 and 20. Psalm 55 and 20. Thanksgiving come around and you sweated us about thanking and praising the Most High when he said that ain't of me. Matter of fact, he gave us scriptures to help us understand what exactly happened at that particular time. You reading in Habakkuk as well. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. He has put forth his hand against such as He has put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
So, just like when they came over those ships and they hopped off and like somebody mentioned earlier on the feed today, I saw, you mean to tell me when the pilgrims came and they didn't come with peace and they had bad intentions?
Right.
The scriptures say they had bad intentions. Read that part again.
Verse 20, he hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him.
He put forth his hand against those who be at peace with him. So he came like, hey, peace, brother, peace.
Right.
We just want to come see the land, etc. We just traveling, right? We exploring.
Vacation.
Right. So he said he put forth the hand. All right, y'all just exploring what's good. Y'all want to see this who we are, this is where we live. What? Now what? What did he do? He put his hand against them, meaning he brought war against our Native American and Hispanic brothers. Go ahead.
He hath broken his covenant.
He broke the covenant. So all that peace talk, guess what? He broke that covenant. And not only did he break the covenant, he started forcing you to celebrate their high holy days, not the Most High's high holy days. Read.
Verse 21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
So it sounded good. All right, it sounded good. We could bring you blankets. We could bring you food, right? Not knowing that there were poison in them, giving them smallpox or chickenpox, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Diseases from where they came from and passing on to them to wipe them out. It's called chemical warfare before we even knew about it, right? And so that smooth words, smoother than butter, was what?
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart. So that's what I'm saying. When you turn away from the Most High, you don't even realize these things. It's like you looking at yourself in the mirror, but you don't even see yourself. Because you can't see yourself because you don't have nothing to turn to. Because everything you turn to lies to you.
Right.
We just read in Psalms that this man that came in peace really came with war in his heart. But yet, you turn around and celebrate their holiday, and it's like, okay, how can I be a Hispanic, Native American, Dominican, or whatever, and celebrate a holiday that was meant to destroy you?
Right.
It's impossible. But it's only possible, right, if you have knowledge. It's possible when you're confused. It's possible when you don't know who you are. It's possible when you don't know who the Most High is. Read.
His words were softer than oil, yet were the drawn swords.
So as they came on the conquistadors, the Jesuits, and whatever other ship they came on, and they started conquering our people here in the land, guess what? Even though their words were smoother than butter, they had swords drawn, ready to go to war. That's how they established this country. That's how they established everything that you see. But guess what? Our people don't want to pick up the book, read, get the knowledge, so you can remain out here lost.
Right.
Let's go back.
Verse 7. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when the heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of the drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
Right. So according to the fruit of your doings, according to what you do. So there's no getting away from, you know what, we under grace, so I can just do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Okay, go live that lifestyle and see what that's going to get you in the end. Right? Because according to the scriptures, when he set up the righteous judges, when he set up the righteous men of the Most High, all that foolishness, worshiping all these idols and whoever else, the Most High is not going to be dealing with that in that day. And guess who's going to bring that execution? It's going to be the men that he ordained to do it. All right? Now, let's go to James 4:10 and let's see what type of men that he's looking for. All right? Because those men that he just talked about that have high minds of themselves and who don't think of the Most High and think they got it all figured out, when he try your mind and try your ways, he going to see exactly who you are. But let's see what type of man that he's looking for. All right, and let's follow the instructions that were given to us so that we can have success. Otherwise, we're going to continue walking around lost, not knowing that we the Israelites the Bible speaks of, not knowing that we God's chosen children, not knowing that we're going to take over in the end. Read that.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one to another, brethren.
So read that part again. Verse 10.
Verse 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord.
That's the problem. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. Meaning, okay, if I come across some brothers who got education, come across some brothers who got some knowledge and so forth.
Right.
Why would I walk around high-minded as if I know it all when I know for a fact whatever them brothers just said, I had no clue about it until I just heard it.
Right.
But we so high-minded that we'll continue to walk past or even show up, listen for a second, and disregard everything that was said.
I'll come up to work.
Because we're not humble to the Most High. And if you're humble to the Most High, you're definitely not going to be humble around men.
Right.
Why? Because you don't even believe that the Most High knows what's going on. But the fact that somebody created the same moon that goes through the same cycles, this moon goes through the same cycles every single month. And it shows you what time it is. We can look at the moon right now and tell you, according to what the scriptures say, a new month is about to start, but y'all don't even know how to look at that and determine. Why? Because you won't pick up the Bible, study, and read. So we walk around ignorant, lost, and dumb.
Right.
But according to the Most High, if you humble yourself and understand what he said, you can have great success and knowledge. Read.
And he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one to another, brethren.
So after you humble yourself, after you bow yourself down, he said he's going to lift you up. You ain't got to worry about no man exalting you.
Right.
You ain't got to worry, shalom, sis. You ain't got to worry about no man exalting you. You ain't got to worry about no system. You ain't got to worry about no awards, no trophies. The Most High said He's going to. You ain't got to worry about no pins on your shirt.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about none of that because the Most High said He is going to exalt you if you humble yourself. Let's go to Luke 18:10. Shalom, bro. Luke 18. All right. And we're going to deal with some more of the mindset that the Most High is looking for. Because as brothers start to teach and to give you information, it would only benefit you, right, if you pick up the information and use it. But as we read earlier, you got to do that. But if you don't do it, that's on you because you don't want to humble yourself. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 10. 2 men went up into the temple to pray. The one a Pharisee and the other to the publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank thee that I am not the other man.
Right, and that's a lot of the mindset of our people now. So here you got somebody who living, so he looked like he righteous. He looked like a pastor, right, like T.D. Jakes or somebody. Right. He looked like he got the answers. And he looking at the people saying, I'm glad that I ain't like them. Right. I'm glad that I ain't get the situation they in. I'm glad that I ain't poor like them. I'm glad that I don't have to catch the bus like them. I'm glad that I get my tithes and offerings and I got my oneness with the Most High and my relationship with God.
Right.
So that's the same thing our pastors do. Read.
Extortioners.
He called the publican, I'm glad I ain't like him, he's an extortioner.
No. Unjust. Adulterers. Or even as the publican.
Right, so he's like, I'm glad I ain't like them. And then he clump them all into the same category as if he's high and holier than everybody else. That's the mindset of our people, and that's why it's hard for us to come up, because the first thing we won't do is humble our mindset and say, you know what, the brother might be right, or the sister might be right. Let me see what the scriptures got to say. Go ahead.
I fast twice in the week.
So now you get, oh man, you know what, I fast twice in a week. Go ahead.
I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven.
Right, so here it is. The publican, regardless of what he had, whatever substance he had, could be rich, right? He could have multiple homes, whatever the case that he has. He said he couldn't even lift, regardless of what he had, his substance, the knowledge, whatever he had. He said that he couldn't even lift up his eyes to the Most High. Read.
But smote upon his breath.
But instead of lifting up his eyes and being boastful and proudful and calling everybody else out, he bowed his head, was hitting his chest. Hitting his chest, right? Like we do when we playing ball.
Right.
Or like we do when we get hyped, or you get ready to fight, or even when you mess up and you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you're like, damn, I'm trying to come out of this thing, right? So the publican is like, I'm bowing my head to the Most High, and he's smoting his chest. Go ahead.
Saying, God be merciful to me, a sinner.
He said, God be merciful. He's begging, he's praying to the Most High, not being a boaster, not being high and mighty. He's on his knees, bowed down, beating his chest, and praying to God for mercy. Not acting like he got it figured out because you've been at your pastor church for 30 years, or you the deacon, or you in the choir, or whatever the case may be, or you an officer in your camp, or whatever. Acting as if you higher and holier than everybody else. No, you're supposed to humble yourself. Read.
I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other.
He said, I tell you this, out of the two of them, the one that had on the fringes, the one that was claiming to be righteous, the one that was pointing at everybody else and bringing them down, the one that was basically putting all his errors out on everybody else, he said out of them two, the one who said the least amount, the one who was down and being humble, beating his chest, praying to the Most High, out of them two, when that one went home, he was the one that was justified out of both of them.
That's right.
Read.
For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased.
So whenever you exalt yourself as, I'm officer such and such, such and such, or I'm pastor such and such, such and such, when you put yourself in that position, guess what you do? Read.
And he that humbleth himself.
Exalt himself again.
For everyone that exalteth himself shall be abased.
Everybody who exalts himself and put himself up as whoever such and such, you're going to be abased. Read.
And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
But he that humbled himself, going back to what we read in James, going back to what we read in Jeremiah, going back to what we read in Joshua. Whenever the word of God is coming out, if you ain't got the answers, you just ain't got the answers. But it's probably time for you to listen, because obviously it's something that you don't know. So the scriptures say, if you humble yourself and abase yourself, that's who the Most High gonna raise up. So when you look at the nations right now, you got the Arabs out there exalting themselves if they the children of God. And putting Allah up on a pedestal, a rock, they're putting it up on a pedestal as if that has power and as if that is of the Most High. Then you got the so-called Christians, you got the so-called Catholics, you got all the other religions that put the fake image of Christ up. and they put all their cathedrals and the gold and whatever else up as if they are above everybody else, all of them gonna get abased in that day. But the ones who come out and say, look, I sinned, according to 1 Kings 8:47, I'm turning back to the ways of the Most High because I know what I've done is wicked. What my forefathers done is wicked. The ones who can say, you know what, I ain't perfect, but I'm striving to be because he told me to. Those going to be the ones in the end that the Most High is going to exalt. So if you exalted yourself today, get ready to be abased whenever that day comes.